Where are you? You got it going? Adriana. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have plenty of time to get lots of good information on one recording here. So
I'm
anyway,
so
let
sorry.
me just briefly go over what you actually get when you get the app.
I'm sorry.
Besides just being able to send it out, you know, in all around the country. Well, as long as everybody can still hear me, then that's fine. Don't worry about it. Can everybody hear me okay? Raise your hand if you can. Yeah. Yeah, everybody can hear me, so I'll just keep talking. Okay. So don't worry about saying anything. Okay, so anyway, when you get the app, number one, you are going to get the new updated edition of the book in both print and audio. Now, you cannot send that out, the whole book. You can only send out the first 5 chapters, but you will have it for yourself. We have a section called questions and answers. Right now, we have 25 questions in there. And if you have a question that's not in there, submit it to us. And periodically, Jeff and I add more questions and answers to the app. Now, the way that works, let's say you sponsor someone, they have a question. No, excuse me, they sponsor someone who asks your new person a question. Well, your new person doesn't have the answer. So how long does it take them to track you down to get the answer? Now, all they have to do is go on their mobile device and find the question and answer, and you can send that to them just like you can send the book with the tracking. And so you can see when they open it up and when they read it. So that's cool. We're excited to be able to expand that. We have a section called Nancy's Wisdom. Now, approximately 6 months before she passed away, she did a Zoom training that the women absolutely love. And there's about 70% of the people in network marketing in the world are women, and the men also like it. There are a couple interviews there. We have more content that's going to be going in that section. We have several of the top podcasters in America that are doing network marketing. Tom Schnall, Simon Chen, and Peter Mengels. When we did Tom Schnall, his interview with Nancy and I went out to 500 radio stations. And when we did Simon Chen, that went out to YouTube. I've got a lot of podcasters now want to do my interview, but I'm not doing any more interviews until we have the app ready to go, completed. And I'll explain that in a little bit. Now, we've had the app for a year, and the company, it was just, of course, in English, and the original company that did it only had 6 employees, and they couldn't keep up with us. So, I mean, it would have taken us years to get the app in different languages. So we found another company that has 370 employees, and they're in 20 different countries, and they're in the process of making our new upgraded app, which is going to absolutely blow people away. Absolutely going to be great. Anyway, there are 5 steps to making an app. You pay for each step as you go. We've actually now just about a week ago paid for the 5th step. It takes about 3 weeks, and they'll have the app in English. Okay, we're totally excited to have it in English. And the company said that once they have it in English, that becomes the base, and they can add a new language to the app every 3 weeks. And basically the plan right now is to do Polish first, then Germany, then Italy, Romania, French, and so forth. We already have people working on Chinese, Japanese, and Russian. The app from the original one is about 90% can be ready to go in Spanish and also Vietnamese. So that's where we're at, you know, with the app. Now, during the course of this last year, we had a guest trainer. It was Dr. Steve Hines. He's a retired eye surgeon, multi-millionaire years. Let me tell you, if you have a doctor dentist, lawyer, professional person, okay? They listen to this guy for 3-4 minutes speak. If they don't join your program, there's something wrong because this guy is really, really good. The only thing that we don't have on the original app that we are going to have here are testimonies. Okay, and these will be done like in a minute and a half to 2 minutes, done by Zoom and so forth. And we just, the testimonies, like I give you an example, because after I get through the basic training, we have the QAs and testimonies. We had a gal do a testimony saying that after the first time she heard this training, that very next week she sponsored 2 people, and each one of them, for person can't mention their company or products and so forth. Just looking for people that been in the business for a while and has been working because they've been trying sales and now they found out they didn't have to do it, how it's working for them. Just forewarn you that if you do volunteer to do that, you're going to become known and seen all over the world. So give it some thought before you do that. So with the app, and the only thing I kind of mentioned earlier, we are going to have a store on the app. So people that want the hat, the pin, the hard copy of the book, and so forth, then Adriana came up with a great idea, because I'm known all over the world for wearing a Hawaiian shirt. We're going to have a cool Hawaiian shirt with Own Your Life on the Hawaiian shirt. So that'll be available on the app. So that's the app. Now, how can you do in 3 to 5 years what took me 25 years? That's what I'm going to go over for you now. Has to do with one word, and the word is time. Okay. Now, before we had the app system technology, see, first of all, you have to understand the industry of networks ago, it worked by people, weekly hotel meeting. Okay. Well, Nance and I stayed at a Marriott hotel in the Newark airport for a month one time. And every Thursday evening, we went down to the lobby and watched this group setting up for their network marketing meeting and carrying all their boxes of products and stuff in setting up, because obviously they're meeting, there are 3, 4, 5 times more people in the coffee shop. So the industry eventually evolved to getting away from the hotel bands, because the money is spent renting a room, which you didn't need because nobody was really showing up compared to the coffee shop. You just go to the coffee shop, you can buy some people their lunch or dinner. So anyway, it evolved to coffee shops. And now the next thing it evolved to is Zoom, which we're on, of course, right now. We had over a year in California where all the restaurants were closed. So you couldn't have a sizzle session in a restaurant. But here's what happened. People would invite several people would show up at a sizzle session coming from 3 directions, to 15 directions, maybe, different people, spending like maybe 15, 20 minutes to get there to an hour to get there. Spend an hour and a half to 2 hours at the sizzle session. Some people didn't get home till 10, 11 o'clock at night. Well, the spouses were home taking care of the children. And if you actually did that more than once a week, now you know why, spouses didn't like network marketing back then, because their spouses were gone all the time. If they were gone all the time, they were in trouble, okay? Well, can you imagine now, like this is like a training, a Zoom sizzle session on Zoom. I do anywhere from 1 to 5 of these a day. My partner does even more. Can you imagine all the people in your downline that are active only did 1 sizzle session a day? Okay, obviously your business would be growing at least 7 times faster. So that's one major thing. Now, the book was written over 36 years ago, and already mentioned it's being totally upgraded. I mean, totally. Everything that's antiquated is gone, and so forth. All kinds of great information in there. So bottom line is that the book originally stopped at 5 people. Once you have personally sponsored 5, you better not sponsor anymore, because if you're duplicating and you're helping their people get through 25, and then helping those people get through 25, goes to 125, 625, 3,125. If you were doing that right, duplicating, you didn't have time to work with more 5 people going, then get 1 more. Get them duplicating, then get 1 more, and get it out to 10. Okay, once you have 10 active people, okay, you're going to help them get 10. Well, let's put the 10 next to the 5. Notice the difference is 5. When 10 get 10, that's 100. Next to 25, the difference 75. Then when 100 gets 10, that's 1,000. Next to 125, that's 875. Now I'm going to let you do this yourself. Carry this out when we get through on a piece of paper. Take it out to 6 levels, okay? And see how much the difference is. And I'm telling you, it'd be mind-boggling for you once you really deeply understand this, because you do that 6 levels deep, you'll be doing what I did in 25 years in 3 to 5 years. Now, the thing I really like about, when you understand this is that you have 10 active people, you can go the rest of your life and never, ever sponsor another person. Why would you need to? You got 100 people to meet from the first 10, and you got 1,000 people to meet from the next one, and you got 10,000. I mean, you'd never have to sponsor anybody. The people are recruiting people to sell. They're spending their whole life looking for that next person to recruit because they're not duplicating, okay? So anyway, I want to make this real simple because people ask, well, really, what's the difference between sales and network marketing? Well, when you're recruiting people to sell, it's like you are a sales manager. How many of you want to be a sales manager? Okay. And those people you recruit are working for you. Okay. So when you sponsor and teach someone to duplicate, you are working for them. And note that as they sponsor someone, as it goes down deep, progressively, everybody has 1 more person working for them. Now, people ask me, how do I motivate my organization? Because I live, near San Diego, and over 90% of my organization's in Europe. And I say, well, I don't motivate them. I taught them how to motivate themselves. And there's 2 ways you do that. First of all, I had a publisher in Australia that said he read my book 10 times. And every time he read it, he learned something new, okay? Well, there are things in the book that when you read it, will motivate you. So you can't just read it once, you read it. Wait till you see the new book. We talk about when you read my book, the original one, it's like you got your degree in network marketing. Well, when you read the new book, you got your PhD in network marketing. That thing has got everything you ever need that want to know is going to be there. So that makes it real simple. So anyway, let me just take a little pause here. So how does, the thing I'm going to tell you now, the second way of motivating your people, this is so powerful, and you're going to love it because it's going to save you a lot of money, and it's going to save your people a lot of money. So let's say you're duplicating, and you are 3, 4, 5 levels deep. You are sound asleep at night. You wake up in the morning and you look at your computer and you see that while you were sleeping, somebody in your downline sponsored somebody. Folks, you are excited, okay? When I look at the computer in the morning, not counting weekends, I'm averaging like right around 600 new people a day signing up into my business. Okay, I'm excited, I'm motivated, but see, it didn't start with 600. It started with 1. and then that person sponsors someone, and then you got someone else sponsor someone. All of a sudden you're getting, 2 a week, and then all of a sudden it goes to 3 a week, and then 5 a week, and so forth. Let me tell you, as your business is growing, you keep getting more motivated and exciting every day. Save your money in going to these 2-3 day motivational seminars where you have people that are doing these things. They're not even building a business in network marketing. If they believed in network marketing and understood it, why aren't they doing it? Okay. Now, I'll give you granted, they're great motivators. But see, the kind of motivation you get is what we call hot bath, because in a week, it's already gone. But they got you motivated to come back and spend some more money taking an advanced course. Okay, you don't need that. Save that money and use that for buying products and so forth. And you're going to be totally motivated. So how are we doing on time? Okay, I got time for a couple more things. People ask, how does the product move? Okay, because we're talking to people about owning your life. Okay, so when we get ready to start someone in the business, we have a conversation with them about overhead. See, everybody knows what overhead is in a business. Okay, like traditional business, got brick and mortar, put up a building, you've got employees, payroll, inventory, products, all that stuff you got to deal with. Okay, that's overhead, folks. The only basic overhead in network marketing is you've got to make a purchase of a product each month. Or different, it's different with different marketing plans with different companies. But whatever it is, you purchase so many products each month to qualify to get paid. So bottom line, we just let them know, because remember, we're not looking for people that are into health. The people that we're talking to have never been in a health food store in their life. They've never taken a health product in their life. They want to own their life, have time, money, and health. So we talk to them about overhead. And so we help them pick out a product they can start with. I don't care if you've got 10, 20, 50, 100 products. Don't ever tell them about all your products, okay? Because you do that, they think they got to learn about all those products before they can even talk to someone. Tell them about just what they need to cover their overhead, okay? Now, they'll go ahead and make that purchase, not because they want the product, it's because they want to own their life, okay? So here's what happens. That person who's never taken a health product before, on a health product, 6 to 10 days, they'll come to you saying, boy, I don't know what's in that product, but boy, do I feel great. They're excited about the product. Now, most companies have an auto ship where you can get the product the same time each month. Let's say they forget to sign up for the auto ship, and let's say they forgot to order the product, they ran out. I'll tell you, within 6 to 10 days of being out, the experience they'll have running out of the product is greater than when they went on the product. That's why I've got people who've been with me for over 25 years, that they're not building a business. We didn't have the tools. We didn't have anything back then, but they got onto the products and they love them and they're still on them, okay? Now here's what's going to happen. Most companies have a catalog that'll go out with your product order. If they don't have the catalog, all of the products are on the internet. So once they've had that excitement about the product, now they'll start looking at the catalog and they'll start looking at the internet and seeing all the other different products there are. And they'll start saying, gee, I want to try this. I want to try that. They'll start seeing other things they want to try. Now, folks, I want you to notice this. They are literally selling themselves the products. You never have to sell them anything other than the idea, of course, of owning their life. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, I think what we'll do now is let me tell you why we take the picture before we stop the recording. About 2 or 3 times after we got started doing the Zoom training, someone asked, can we take your picture? And I said, not a problem. Then they said, can we post it on Facebook? I said, not a problem, but don't mention any company or products because we want to stay neutral. So some of these people, you know, have people on Facebook, 1,000 friends, 4,000, whatever. Okay. So they started posting it. I'm going to tell you how you're able to get some of these people back to your business that were in your business years ago. Okay. It's called the apologetic approach. You call someone that had been in your business years ago, let's say it's maybe 7, 8, maybe even 10 years ago. You haven't talked to them for a long time. So you call them up and say, hey, I just want to get in touch with you. We haven't talked for a long time, and I'm just calling up to apologize. Notice how strong silence is. So they, and you say, you probably want to know why I'm apologizing. Well, remember how many years ago I started you in a network marketing company? Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know what I was doing then. Okay. And I do now because I had an opportunity to go to training and learn the right way to do the business. And I learned that it has nothing to do with selling. Because see, virtually all those people that have left business because they don't want to sell or look for people to sell. So anyway, if I'd have known then what I know now, you'd be retired by now, because people can retire doing this business the right way in 3 to 5 years. And we have trainings on Zoom. It's like a half hour long that I can send to you. And if you'd like to listen to it, you still have an opportunity. Now, understand, folks, like in America, and I'm sure this is the same around the world, with inflation, older people are getting close to retirement. I'm telling you, they're not going to be able to have the retirement that they always dreamed about, because they're already selling their 401ks. That's their retirement plan, or their insurance, or not insurance, but investments. They're doing it because they need the money to eat and buy gas. Oh, okay. So what if you were to tell these people at that age group, if I could show you how you could have an extra 2,000 to 5,000 a month coming in when you retired, would you be willing to look at a presentation? Won't take more than maybe 1 minute. And you know, they say, sure. Now, what I'm going to tell you now wouldn't have worked 10 years ago, because 10 years ago, old people weren't on the internet and weren't on Facebook. So all you have to do is say, how long would it take you to find 10 of your friends that would like to be able to own their life, have time, money, and health, an extra 2,000 to 5,000 a month coming in? And they're going to say about as long as it takes you on Facebook. They go 3 levels, they go 2 levels deep. Depends on the company. They could already be making a nice extra check. If they go 3 levels deep, they're already making a couple thousand or more. And they go 4 levels deep, they're making over 5,000 a month. Okay. But they've got time to do that before they go. So there's a lot of things going on today that weren't available 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and so forth. And if these people could understand that, yeah, you'd be amazed how many people are going to come back. So anyway, that's why we take the photo, okay? And Adriana, you're still with us?